All right, now we're going to check out this other video. Let's see if it's good. Funny thumbnail right here, by the way, at the bottom. You guys can see my cursor, right? Yeah, you can. Why this atheist scientist became a believing Christian. From science to God. Notice how it's never to God through science. It's always from science to God. Like, I'll stay with science, thanks. Anyway, the video we're going to be reacting to, it's just so funny. Former lesbian. Former lesbian? Have you seen that video with Dana White? There's somebody that asks him at a press conference, UFC press conference. If you don't know who Dana White is, he's the CEO. I don't think he's the owner. He's the CEO of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. It's an MMA organization. And he's at the press conference. He takes questions from people in the audience. Someone in the audience goes, "Hey, Dana, former Mexican here." He goes, "Former Mexican? What the fuck is a former Mexican?" But here we have a former lesbian, Rosaria Butterfield's. Okay, set free story. I thought gay was good. Gay is not good or bad. Gay is just gay. Like, what?
I was not just the lesbian next door who wanted to live a quiet life, but I was a political activist. I spoke at gay pride rallies. I testified before the New York legislature, and I taught thousands of college students to hate the Bible. I truly believed that...
Yeah, you probably should hate the Bible. The Bible condones slavery. And it tells you about how God literally commanded one group of people to kill another group.
An LGBTQ plus civil rights movement would be good for the whole world. And
I mean, every group of people should have civil rights. As long as those rights don't entail trampling on the individual rights of others, then yeah, obviously all people should have rights, whether you want to call yourself L or G or B or whatever.
the reason I believed that is I believe that people were inherently good. And if we are just allowed to
Now, you're only good as long as God recognizes it, right?
flourish in the things that we want to do, that we...
Former lesbian. What does that mean, former lesbian? I can't get over this. I can't get over this. What is over here? What the fuck was that? Former lesbian finds... So is she not... She's no longer a lesbian? I find that implausible. I think this is just a lesbian who's repressing her desires, which obviously isn't healthy or necessary.
desire to do, that we would have such capacity to do such great things in the world. I was a committed LGBTQ plus activist. I was a committed feminist, and I was the product of that from my household.
Okay, now you're the product of being Christian from another household. So you went from accepting one thing uncritically to accepting something else uncritically, right? It doesn't matter that you're now getting this from outside your house. You're still getting something from outside your mind, just like you did before. So even though before you were a civil rights activist, whatever, blah, 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 maybe there were some problems with the group you were in or the particular way you're doing things. I have problems with what that movement is sometimes doing, the modern liberal movement in the United States, sure. Obviously, we believe in rights for all people. But the modern liberal movement, the left-wing liberals in the United States, they can get pretty weird sometimes. Okay, whatever. And now you're moving to this insane Christian ideology. Okay, whatever. The point is, in both cases, you're accepting something from outside of yourself uncritically. At no point in the process are you using your mind to try and determine what you believe for yourself. And that's actually where the crux of the issue is. And that's going to carry on through whatever ideology you espouse, whatever ideology you accept, because that's actually the starting point. It should be you and your mind, and you don't have that. So as long as you have that, you're going to struggle, and you're going to just be told what to think.
I was raised in Chicago. My parents were both Italian, but I was raised in a liberal Catholic household and school. So my parents were divorced before they got married, so they had lots of axes to grind with the Catholic Church and their positions on divorce. My dad would drop me off in the morning every day at school.
Divorced before they got married? The hell does that mean?
He'd say, "Rosaria, be good, be kind, listen
Sounds
to
like a former lesbian, former Mexican.
everything the nuns say, and don't believe a word of it." I had a brother, a half brother, who was a heroin addict and lived with us. It was a family that was very rife with anger, unresolved problems. I hardened my heart against my family and I left. I got to college and men found me attractive, and so I dated. I dated all throughout college, and I would often have these weird experiences. I'd be publicly dating.
What is this? Why not just say I dated? And then men found me attractive. She's trying to have it be where she's ostensibly not. She's trying to be humble, right? Oh, men found me. She's not even saying I'm attractive, but really what she wants to subtly get in there is her looks when it's completely unnecessary to the story. Just kind of a funny, stupid detail.
Man,
Why
and
not just say and I started dating in college?
falling in love with a woman over there, and I think, what's going on with me? You know, like what is that?
You're a
I had a
lesbian.
number of lesbian friends who would come up to me and they just say, Rosaria, I think you're gay and I think you're just avoiding it, and I don't know why. I decided they were right. I was tired of dating men and falling in love with women. That was a cycle I wanted to break. And so I met my first lesbian lover, and I don't know, life just finally came together and made sense. I was writing a book on the religious,
Now I want to throw it away because I found Jesus.
basically trying to figure out why Christians just hated people like the person I used to be. I couldn't figure out why they just wouldn't leave consenting adults alone. So I had to read the Bible to write this book. I really thought the Bible was just a misogynistic, patriarchal, racist, ancient book. Maybe useful so
It's at least a couple of those things.
you could understand literary allusions, but beyond literary allusions, it had no claim on you. When I started reading the Bible, I was not reading
I
the
have to say it's completely trash. It probably has some good stories in there.
Bible because I was
You can get wisdom from anything, and you absolutely should.
searching for like help or
You can
meaning,
get wisdom from Humpty Dumpty.
or, please Jesus save me. That was not it at all. I was really an atheist. I was just interested in Christianity as a cultural movement. Something happened when I started reading the Bible, and it got me so mad. The Bible said I needed to repent of my sin, and I thought, well, how can I repent of a sin that's me? Where do you
Yeah, it's stupid, isn't it? And God made you, according to the ideology. So you're repenting for something you had no choice in. You're repenting for a part of you that was designed from top to bottom, literally by the mind of another being, which is God. And who are you supposed to repent to? Well, that very same God. Yeah, obviously it doesn't make sense. Did that stop you? No, you went on to believe it anyway. So let's see how you managed to do that, you fucking idiot.
that one out? How do you do that? I thought sin was a cultural error. I don't know, like wearing the wrong shoes at a dinner party or something. I didn't realize that they believed sin as treason against a holy God and condemnable by death and hell. I didn't believe people actually believed that.
Well, certainly sin is not the thing that is condemnable by death, because lots of people who are evil go on to live long lives, and then there are children who have never done or even thought anything evil in their entire lives, and they're the age of 5, and God decides to give them leukemia. So I don't think is that death is the punishment for sin. I don't think if that was true, we would expect to find the world we live in.
This book make these statements? Who has the right to say this? And in some ways, that's a really accurate point. See, if God hadn't worked through chosen men to make sure that every word of this Bible was true, it would be outrageous. It would be an unthinkable book. But because I was still reading it as an atheist, all I had was the outrage. I ended up needing help to read the Bible. I found that help in Ken Smith, who's a pastor and a neighbor, and he was taking me through this Bible.
Yeah, if
And
something is illogical, it doesn't mean you need help to understand it. It just means that it's illogical. Like, you can't understand. If I say A is A, but A is also B at the same time, that is illogical, right? If I say 1 is 2, then it's not that you need help to understand that. It's just that that is fundamentally irrational, and you should probably run away from me before I do something insane and blow something up, because I'm just a walking contradiction and lunatic, right? So that doesn't mean you need help to understand something. It's just like contradiction is ununderstandable. That's why we should avoid contradiction, so that we can live lives that flow from one point to another using logic.
At a certain point, it was starting to work on me. The Bible, and
Yeah, because upon seeing the illogical brainwash material, instead of turning away from it and being like, okay, this is retarded, you actually said, okay, maybe I should look into it some more.
especially
So,
the
yeah, if you engage in a process of self brainwashing, yeah, the brainwashing is going to start to work over a long enough period. Although it would probably only work if you're already the type of person who wouldn't disregard something that's obviously illogical.
of Jesus were starting to work on me. And I remember talking to a friend of mine in the gay community, a transgendered woman, which is a biological man, went by the name Jill. And I remember saying once at a dinner party, Jill, I don't know, something's going on. And then Jill said to me, Rosaria, I think it's all this Bible reading you're doing. I think it's bad for you, and I think it's changing you. And I said, but what if it's true? And what if Jesus is risen? What if Jesus is the real risen Lord, King of all nations?
Yeah, what if? Okay, I'm interested in that possibility too. Do you have a reason for that, or are you just, what if this, and what if unicorns exist, and what if fairies exist? Yeah, like we can be what if a lot of things, and we can be mystical and try to feel some sort of magical, whimsical sort of way. Do you have reasons for those things? No? Okay, then just stop. Stop it. Get some help.
All in trouble, right? And I remember Jill saying, Rosaria, I was a Presbyterian minister for 15 years. I left a wife.
Yeah, I think we have enough, and I think that she has a wife. That's funny. Presbyterian woman minister, and now she has a wife. I don't know. The whole situation's funny. What we can gather, what we know to be true, is that we should use reason, this faculty of our minds, to gather information about the world and use that information to craft reality into a certain shape, into certain forms, so that we can live the best lives possible. That is the fundamental nature of our existence as human beings. That is what we do when we're successful. That is what the successful do. That is what the unsuccessful do not do. That, and using reason is what we should seek to be doing. So some people were freaking Presbyterian ministers, and then they turned to lesbianism. I say lesbianism as if it's some sort of philosophy or something. No, then they became lesbian, or they probably were lesbian all along and were repressing it like this woman is now. Or some people were part of the LGBTQ movement or whatever that is, and now they're Christian, and they suppress their sexuality. People move from one thing to something else. They go from conservative to liberal to conservative. They go from Marxist to capitalist, and then back again. What we should know, what we should identify, is the fact that people who are successful long term, people who do things logically, are logical because they use reason. And reason is that faculty of your mind which you use to understand reality and find success in it. That is what we should be trying to do. And that is the opposite of this. That is exactly what this is not. And that is why we should avoid this type of thing. So we don't need to watch the rest of the video. That's pretty much it.